What is wrong with the church? What needs fixing?
Unfortunately, every church suffers from a lack of money. The Church of England is mistakenly thought of as being very wealthy. It isn't. It's got a lot of assets, but it's got a lot of liabilities as well. So although it has money, that money is spread very, very thinly over a lot of different parishes and a lot of different churches. And as a result of that, every single church in the country probably has a very, very long list of things that need doing to it. Roofs replacing, painting that needs doing, central heating that needs replacing, electrical wiring that needs looking at. There's a huge, huge list of maintenance things. This church, the roof's quite good. The biggest thing that we have in this church is that we don't have a toilet, and we really do need to get a ladies and a gents toilet sorted out. We could also do with the kitchen area being upgraded, and at this moment in time we do have a scheme in place for raising capital and money towards doing that work, which we hope will be done within 3 or 4 years' time. The other thing that we've actually gone a long way towards doing is raising money for a new clock to be installed, because the present clock, the mechanism is completely broken, and so we've got some quotes, and we've raised quite a lot of money towards it being completed, and we hope that the work will be started next middle of spring, early summertime, so that we can hopefully by September, October of 2016 we can have a clock refitted and reworking, and that'll be lovely to hear it chiming, because quite a lot of people in the area look to the clock. I mean, a lot of people travel up and down the B1242 and they actually look at the clock, and it'll be really nice to see it working and all the lettering and all the numbers redone on it, and I think it will make the place look as if it's looked after and people care, and I think that's important in a church. If you care and something looks as if it's cared for, then I think people will think, yeah, that's a church that's worth going to.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hard work, but the Lord gave us the opportunity, and I think it's right that we should try to, fulfil what He wants us to do. He guides us and leads us, and has given us the time and the money. We, I think, should in our turn help, because the church does an awful lot of good for many, many people right around the world. People in other countries. The Christian church is the largest church in the world, much bigger than the Muslim religion, bigger than the Buddhist and Hindu religions, and I think it's up to us to set an example, not only in this country but right around the world, for other people, in Africa and Asia, wherever there is a need.
Do you know how much money is needed to fix it?
How long's a ball of string? To do this church, I would estimate that you will be looking of a figure of about £200,000 to £250,000 to do everything that needs doing, and to bringing it up to a good state of repair, so that you can think it will be very good for the next generation that are coming along. Your generation, not my generation, but your generation, so that those people can have the use of a church which is warm, comfortable, clean, safe, light, has got good facilities in it, and so on. So that's really my ambition. I want this church to be good for your generation and for your children as well. You know, that would be great. But in saying that, I think that sometimes we look upon a church as being a place that you only go to on a Sunday. And I think a church should be much more than that. I think that we should be able to come up here, and I've not got anything against pews, but unfortunately they do limit you. And I think if the pews could be sorted out and replaced probably with soft chairs so that people can sit and be comfortable in a service. And I think if you had those laid out facing the altar for a Sunday, nice carpeted area, but say on a Tuesday afternoon, if you want to have an old age pensioners group meeting in here, so they can use the kitchen and all the rest of it, brilliant. Let them come in and they can move the chairs about and put them wherever they want. Maybe on a Wednesday morning you might want a mums and toddlers group in here. Brilliant. You would have a kitchen, you would have a toilet facility for them, and maybe on a Thursday night you might want a youth club. And I think young people to come in and listen to whatever music, watch videos, you know, sit and chat, maybe do a bit of painting, artwork, maybe, you know, get ready to do Duke of Edinburgh, that type of thing. So all those different groups could be in the church, but at the moment, as you can see, we're limited with the pews. Those don't move. They're really set into the floor. But I've been to churches where they've done something about it. One very near the university, St John Newland on Clough Road, they've actually taken all their pews out and they've replaced them with soft chairs. And it looks really good, really, really good. They've got overhead projectors up, linked to a computer, and they can show different things. They can show TV, they can show the words from hymns, they can show different shots of various places in the world, and that's really, really good, and I'm very in favour of that. They've also got lighting so that you don't have to have this very harsh type of light. They can tone it down, soften it down so that you've got filters on it, so that you might have purple filters or blue filters on it, and it's really good. It creates an atmosphere within the church, you know, it softens the atmosphere, so that at night, you know, if you're having an evening service, you could, and people wanted to be quiet and reflective, you could maybe put on, you know, quite low lighting. They've got really good speaker systems, so that you can, you know, if someone sat at the back of the church and someone at the front is giving a lesson, they can listen to them, and if they're hard of hearing, it doesn't matter, they can still hear them. So you can create atmospheres within a church, and I think that's important as well. The building will never change, it'll never alter. It is what it is, but you can change the inside of the building, and you can make it better. Another thing as well is that we haven't done anything about, there isn't a scrap of insulation in this building. So, you know, it's cold all the time, even in summer. You come into the church in the middle of July and it might just be about okay to sit there with a jumper on and listen to the service. But I'll tell you what, this time of year you want to make sure you've got a coat on, because it's very, very cold. We do have a central heating system in this church, but you wouldn't know it, because look at the vast area that you have to heat up, and then as soon as you turn the heating on, it just disappears because there's no insulation. And really, all this roof ought to be insulated. You know, it's a shame.
Have you raised any money so far?
Yes, through door to door, knocking on people's doors and writing letters and things like that. I've raised £5,000 for the church clock. That's in That's taken me about 8 months to do, and then I went to the I went to the Winwick Wind Farm Fund, and they gave me another £10,000. But I don't really want to take all that money because I don't think it's fair on other charities. So I really want to try and raise a little bit more by myself, or through the church community rather, to put more to the church. But the church clock's going to cost us around about £15,000 to replace. To repair. And so that's where that will go. But we are all the time raising money. We have craft fairs, we have summer garden parties, we do various things that a lot of other people have done within the church congregation.